Hello, I'm here today to show you how to make a fantasy map on your own for any type of game or story you want to tell. Now, I have used these kinds of map for a lot of different things, and having a map where you yourself have made the story for it can make it an already entertaining activity even more entertaining. Now, what things I have used this for are Pathfinder, Shadowrun, kinda, and the one that everyone knows about, D&D. However, what I have not used it for is just telling a story in almost a book or story format. However, you most definitely can. Now, you will need only a few things for this. Some paper, a Sharpie or pen of some kind, and if you are smart, a pencil. And I am not smart. Now, a very good place to start is by actually getting the paper you're going to use. Normally I use a single sheet of paper. However, for this, I'll be using 4 pieces of paper stuck together so it is easier to see and can make a bigger and more interesting map. So let's go ahead and start getting the paper put together so we can make our map. Now, in its essence, putting these papers together is a very, very simple task. However, it does depend on personal preference how you do it. Now, I personally overlay the papers to make the front as flat as possible while making the back not so much, which can make it sit weirdly on some surfaces, but I rather that to just the gaps in between the papers. However, if you want to put papers together to make a bigger map like I am, it really just comes down to how you prefer it looking. That looks good. Now that it's all the way up there, we're going to use this, and we're going to make some random marks on this paper. Doesn't matter where they are, what they look like, they're just lines of random shapes. And we're going to start with that and go from there. This is actually pretty self-explanatory as well. However, I do have one extra thing to add. And that is, you do not want to have lines be straight. You want to have them have some curves in them, because later on, those curves are going to be what ends up making the more realistic curves and shape of your map. Also, as an added bonus, I have a curse when it comes to thumbtacks. I don't like push pins. With that nightmare out of the way, I got down to finishing the lines on the paper, since I was having trouble with actually getting the pens to stay. After that, I worked on connecting the lines I have made to make the body of our landmass for the map. Now, I didn't leave much space around the sides, but if you're doing a map, I suggest you do leave space, because it will make adding the compass and the key later easier. There we go. Now the lines are connected, and if this is what you want from a map, just a simple shape, you're done. However, I'm going to do a few more things to this, namely adding a key and adding detailing. The final step to this now is quite simple, just taking it off the wall, darkening out the lines, and adding a key and other parts of the map, just to make it look lived in. I personally added a little city and some lines to show biomes and named everything. The key and the compass should be simple and match the rest of the map. And that is how you make a quick and easy fantasy map to use for any story you may want to tell.